Anaya was a blind beggar. He lived in the village of Dharam. Every day he sat by the road and begged for alms. One day, while feeling around in the dirt, his hand touched something strange. It was a ball of clay, hard and smooth, but there was something more. The clay ball held a tiny hidden sparkle. It shimmered when the sun touched it just right. Anaya, unable to see the sparkle, thought it was just an ordinary stone. He put it in his bag. He used it to weigh down the corner of his tattered cloth. This cloth held the few coins he received from kind villagers. Anaya felt a strange comfort in the weight of the clay ball. It was a small comfort in his difficult life. Life was hard for Anaya, but he always had a smile on his face. He greeted everyone with kindness. He never complained about his fate. The villagers, in turn, were generous to him. They gave him food and a few coins every day. Anaya was grateful for their kindness. He knew the villagers of Dharam were good people. One day, Kaya, the oil merchant, was passing by. He saw Anaya holding the clay ball. Kaya was a greedy man, always looking for ways to increase his wealth. He was instantly drawn to the sparkle he saw from the clay ball. "Greetings, Anaya," Kaya said, with a false kindness in his voice. "What is that you hold in your hand?" "Just a clay ball, kind sir," replied Anaya. "I found it while I was sitting here." Kaya was curious. He picked up the clay ball and pretended to examine it. "It looks like an ordinary stone," he said, trying to hide his excitement. "Would you mind if I take a closer look?" Anaya, unaware of Kaya's true intentions, readily agreed. He had no use for a simple clay ball. He didn't even know about the sparkle it held. Kaya took the clay ball and examined it closely. The sparkle, tiny as it was, confirmed his suspicions. This was no ordinary clay. It was something special, something valuable. Kaya's mind raced as he hatched a plan. He couldn't just take the ball from Anaya. People would know. He needed to be discreet. Kaya knew just the person for this job, Nagalu, the village thief. That night, under the cloak of darkness, Kaya met with Nagalu. He whispered his plan, his voice filled with greed. "Get the ball from Anaya," he hissed, "and I'll give you a share of its worth." Nagalu, a sly and cunning man, agreed. He was always ready for a quick coin, especially if it involved little risk. They decided to wait for a few days to avoid suspicion. Kaya, meanwhile, kept a close eye on Anaya, making sure the beggar didn't realize the true value of the clay ball. The wait was agonizing for Kaya. He dreamt of riches, of the fortune the clay ball would bring. He started treating Anaya with unusual kindness, hoping to gain the beggar's trust. Anaya, oblivious to Kaya's sinister motives, was simply happy for the merchant's newfound generosity. A few days later, an opportunity arose. A heavy storm lashed the village, forcing everyone indoors. The streets were deserted, the only sound the howling wind and the relentless rain. This was their chance. Nagalu, his face hidden by the shadows of the storm, crept up to Anaya. He found the beggar huddled under his tattered cloth, seeking shelter from the downpour. With a swift, practiced movement, Nagalu snatched the clay ball from Anaya's bag. Anaya, caught off guard, could only cry out in confusion and fear. Soaked to the bone, Nagalu ran to Kaya's house. They met in the flickering light of an oil lamp, their faces etched with greed and anticipation. But Nagalu, emboldened by the success of their plan, decided to betray Kaya. He had the prize now. He didn't need the merchant anymore. "This is worth more than a simple share, Kaya," Nagalu sneered, holding the clay ball aloft. "I'm taking it all." A struggle ensued, each man desperate for the treasure. The clay ball fell from their grasp, rolling across the floor. The fight, fueled by greed and deceit, raged on.